Well, we're at Cambridge, thanks to Breckon Farms World Drivers' Championships, catching up with the local Blair Orange. Firstly, thank you for joining me, mate.
Hey, welcome, mate.
Just asked you there before we started, I said, are you enjoying it? And the answer was yes. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks like a good bunch of guys.
Yeah, great bunch of guys, and even the entourage that's all with them, really nice people, and everyone's having a good time. So that's what it's about, and, it's proud to be showing off our country to them.
I think that everyone's doing an awesome job, including the guys in the entourage, because I was at Breckon Farms last night. We didn't know any of them. They just walk up, shake your hand, start talking, and you're just part of a big family. I'd say spending 3 or 4 days with them, and they'd be infectious.
Yeah, they are. Even though their English, some of them isn't that great, you can actually have a good conversation with them. And even Pierre, he's actually a really comical guy, and it's been an honour to meet them.
Yep. Is he the Italian that doesn't speak English?
Well, he actually does a little bit. I think he might not let on how much he knows.
Someone might be nervous now. They might have said something to him and get a bit nervous. Driving against these guys, for yourself, you've achieved a lot here in the country. You even represented the country overseas. But driving against these guys on your home soil, is it sort of different, or is it you just take every race as it comes?
Yeah, it's probably a little different driving against them. They sort of let their horses roll a lot more than what we generally do, tactically wise. So, there'll be no slow quarters, that's for sure. And they some of them they're not quite up to date with the push in and push out rules, so they're still learning that. But can be a little frustrating at times. But it is what it is. And as I say, they're great drivers.
They're probably the same with you when you went over there. Was that 2 years ago? 4 years ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And I remember I pushed and shoved a couple out of the road, and they were screaming and yelling, and Doug McNair yelled out to me, he said, "You're not allowed to do that, but by God, it's funny to watch."
I think Pete had the same trouble, didn't he? Pete McMullen, he was the same problem. So, but that's okay. That's what the rules are all about, and it's there. It's to showcase these drivers too. We want people to come into the races and actually see these guys in their craft and be able to watch them. They're in their colours. They're proud of what they're able to do, and be able to showcase it, don't we?
Oh, for sure, and our racing and that, it's pretty unique compared to all the others, and they have said, a couple of them have said, I've never raced that tight off the mobile and that tight racing to the first bend, so, it's new to them, but they're getting it pretty good.
Do you just said there before about the rolling along a little bit more, you guys tend to drop back a bit. Is that who it was? I knew there was someone, don't worry, I could interview him and he'll go real quiet. Do you enjoy that rolling along a little bit more like the Australian sort of way? Because I think Australia, we roll along probably a little bit more than you Kiwis do now. Do you enjoy that part of it, or you like the sitting and stacking them? I
know if Johnny Dunn's watching this, I like to sort of pinch some sectionals, just to give the horse a breather, but obviously the way these guys drive, they don't allow you to do that. So obviously the better horse will cream will rise to the top, so yeah, it makes it more genuine racing.
Is that the downside to that hard running, is the better horse generally is the one that comes out on top because it's a stronger horse, whereas if you can pinch it on a second, third, fourth best horse, you might be able to pinch the race?
Yeah, yes and no. I guess there's pros and cons to it all, but you just got to drive the horse to its ability and drive it to how it needs to be.
What about the rest? Your career, well, you don't worry about your career, but this year, you're happy with how everything's going? You're still driving, knocking out plenty of winners. I noticed about the week before this thing was about to start, they seemed to dry up a little bit for you for a while.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a dry spell the last couple of weeks, but I got some lovely drives through Cup time and going forward, so looking forward to them. And yeah, it's time to get going and kick it into gear.
Can you do that? Just kick it like that?
Well, I'm going to.
Very good. First race tonight, you got to drive against Harrison. I know it's not the first time that you've done it. That a bit surreal for you, driving against your son?
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. You always got a wee eye on what he's doing, so he's making his own mark and doing everything for himself. So really proud of what he's doing, and he's still got a wee way to go and learning all the time, as we all did when we were young. But really proud of what he's doing thus far.
When I drove against my brother, you quite often knew where they were, if you know, but you weren't sort of watching them. Is that all you do when Harrison's in the race with you, or are you watching it even a little bit more closely?
Oh, no, if I'm in the race with him, it's always out there to win, but, if he's around me, I'll always keep an eye on what he's sort of going to do or has done, so, yeah, it's just good to be able to mentor him and give him a few tips along the way.
What about on the sidelines? You're at Addington, he's driving up here at Auckland or Cambridge. Are you a good watcher for a start?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we have a conversation pretty much every race day about his drives and whatnot, and then I'll re-watch them if I don't get a chance to watch them if I'm racing, and we'll go through them. But he's got his head on his shoulders, and he's the first one to put his hand up if he makes a mistake. So that's a good attribute to have as well.
Do you describe yourself as a proud dad, or the sort of dad that can just walk away, not show any emotions? Like, have you been caught up at all with any of his wins?
Yeah, a couple of his wins, it's been pretty special for me, and it's obviously very special for him. So, I'm a very proud dad, but I don't probably show it as much, and a bit reserved in that way. But he knows he's got the full support of myself and his family, and as I say, just really, really proud of him.
They bring different things out into the kids, don't they, unfortunately? But I think it makes us better people, and I'm glad to hear that little bit of insight, because you are very quiet, you are very reserved, and at least inwardly you might be getting a bit worked up with him driving some of the better horses. Yeah,
no, it shows that, what he's done in his short career so far, to, the trust that Barry and Scotty and the owners have had him in to sooner the better, and a few of the other ones that he's been driving for Barry and Scotty. So, it's onwards and upwards, and, he's got a full career ahead of him, and, hopefully, and I'm sure he will, just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, so have you, mate. You're not going anywhere soon either, that's for sure. I don't think, are you?
No, I've probably got another few years left in me.
I hope you got more than that. And you got driving the New Zealand Cup?
Yeah, I sit behind We Walk by Faith.
Oh, of course. Who's flying?
He's doing really well, actually. It's things just didn't pan out at Ashburton. He ended up with a tough trip, and he trialled today down home, and Hayden was happy with him. He'll need luck, and we'll drive him for luck. And if he does get that, he's every chance of running top 5.
Seems like a sort of horse, if he can get out wide, have that clear run, his closing quarters, closing speed's just exceptional.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's his first time racing the big bangers, so to say. It's his first season against them, and he'll adapt to that. But I think at this stage of his career and where he's at, he's better driven cold against them, and he'll get home all the time.
Sit back and watch this race, mate. You haven't got to drive in it, so you can sit back and enjoy it. But thanks for giving us a bit of time. Well done representing New Zealand, but also just full stop as a driver. I know you hate these, so I really appreciate you giving me a bit of time and a little bit of insight as well, mate. So thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.